Previously we have been looking at Surah Maryam, and in Surah Maryam Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions various qualities of various prophets, the more dominant qualities that they had in their lives. And we spoke about Hazrat Ismail alayhi salatu wassalam, that he would encourage and advise his family to be obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَكَانَ يَأْمُرُ أَهْلَهُ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَالزَّكَاةِ, that he would advise his family, he would encourage his family, the people of his household, he would engage them in the remembrance of Allah, he would engage them in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in that, we discussed how in this time and age that we let shaitan nurture and raise our children. And I was indicating towards how the television nurtures our children. We let our children go on the television. I mentioned some facts and figures of how much time they spend. On average, I said in a week, the average UK child spends about 28 hours in front of the television. So that's more than 1 day out of 7 days. And the harms of that we discussed, and how important it is to nurture and raise our children. It could be our younger siblings, could be our sons, our daughters, our nieces, our nephews. Some that we have some interaction with. So here Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam, he would advise his children, his family, his wife, regarding the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is a responsibility upon each and every one of us, that we ensure and we have concern regarding our family. Ku anfusakum wa ahlikum nara, save yourself, preserve and protect yourself and your family from the depth of Jahannam. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. And the nurturing and the raising of our children ultimately is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Allah ta'ala wants, besides all our efforts, Allah ta'ala can make it happen that child that we are raising, that child that we are nurturing, that niece, my younger brother that I am nurturing, if Allah ta'ala wants, He can make him disobedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, besides our efforts. And if Allah ta'ala wants, we have exerted no effort whatsoever, we have not nurtured them, we have not advised them, we have not guided our children. If Allah ta'ala wants, He can still make sure that this child becomes obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is mu'addib, he has akhlaq, he has good character. Allah ta'ala wants. It's all totally and ultimately in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The very famous incident regarding Hazrat Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, when the waves and the flood came, he was on the ship, he was conversing with his son. He's saying to his son, "Oh son, please come aboard the ship. Come aboard the ship. And you'll be saved from this wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." And what did the son reply? He replied that, "No, I'm going to go to the mountains. وَيَعْصِمُنِي," and He will protect me from this flood, from this water. He's going to protect me from the water. This is the son of a Nabi. The son of a Nabi, a prophet. Hazrat Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. وَحَالَ بَيْنَهُمُ الْمَوْجِ, and then the wave came between them. كَانَ مِنَ الْمُغْرَقِينَ, and he became from amongst those people who drowned. So the son of a prophet, we cannot say that Hazrat Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, he didn't have the ability to nurture children. He was a kamil, he was from amongst those people who were complete. Everything they did was under the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But it was an expression of Allah's qadr, His might, His power. That besides all your efforts, it's up to me who I guide. It's up to me who I show guidance to. And then on the other hand, you can see the example of Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, who was raised in the house of Fir'aun, who was nurtured by Fir'aun. Fir'aun, who thought he was the creator, he thought he deserved to be worshipped. He was raised by Fir'aun, in the house of Fir'aun. So the upbringing was very deficient. Nothing to do with Allah, not in accordance with the laws of Allah. But still, the power and the might of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was also expressed there. That in the house of Fir'aun, Musa alayhi salam, a prophet was made. And then on the other hand, we have in the house of a prophet as a Nuh alayhi salam, we have an insolent child. A child who has no manners towards his father, no character, does not accept Allah. So ultimately, my point is, guidance is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Guidance is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have probably seen many examples that children that have not had a good upbringing, they turn towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's the fadl and the mercy and the kindness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this happens a lot. We have experienced this a lot more in comparison to those children who have had a good upbringing, who have been guided, who have been nurtured, but then they go astray. That is very less. But the general law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the general practice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is that the effort that you put in, the result will be accordingly. If a person spends his time in nurturing and educating and teaching akhlaq in the correct manner to his child, then this child will be mu'addid. He'll be a person of character. He will have good characteristics. He will be obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if a child didn't have a good upbringing, then most likely the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that he won't have adab, he won't have good character. He will not be obedient to his parents. He will not be obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is what we need to see. That how can we, if you look at the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hazrat Anas radiallahu ta'ala, we can find how to do that in the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because he was complete. He was the perfect example. He was the one he had no imperfections. The time we mentioned the hadith regarding the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was eating with that child. He was eating with the child, and the child was eating from all over the plate. Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abi Salama. He says, Kuntu ghulaman, I was a young child, and I was eating with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I was eating from all over the plate. But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he advised me. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not immediately say, don't do this. Don't do this, young child. Why on earth are you doing this for? Do you not know this is ignorant? This is bad manners. The Prophet ﷺ didn't do this. He could have done that. But no, the Prophet ﷺ was the best of teachers. Best of teachers. He hardly said, as Anas radiallahu ta'ala anhu says, the Prophet ﷺ never said to me, he had never said to me, why haven't you done this? Or he never ever said to me, why have you done this? He's never said this to me. And he was in the company of the Prophet ﷺ for a very long time. There's a way, there's a manner in how you do the tarbiyah. You nurture a child. You nurture someone smaller and younger than us. So what did the Prophet ﷺ do to Abdullah ibn Abi Salama? He didn't straight away say, no, you should eat from your side. No, he first said, see, our deen, Islam, it teaches us to be positive all the time. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر. The system of Allah is that why are you the best of nations? Why are you the best of ummah? Because كنت تأمرون بالمعروف. Because you're always positive first. You always say, oh, try to do this. Do this. You say positive things. You do not, then it comes. وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. There is, don't do this. Don't do that. That comes later. But the first step of tarbiyah is be positive. We say positive. Many research is done regarding the word don't. When you say to a child, don't do this, it shows, research shows that when whatever you say don't do, that thing will happen. Because if somebody is walking with a tray of glasses, if a person says don't spill it, what image will come into that person's mind? What image? That he's already spilled it. Everything's on the floor. And then when you find children, when a person says to, like they say, the rules are made to be broken. So if a person says, oh, don't do this, don't do that, the image in the head is that, they've got that image in the head. That image is already in the head. So their eyes, the heart, the mind will be focused. So why shouldn't I do it? Let me try it. Why should I stay away from it? So it should be positive. تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. First you give guidance towards good. Instead of saying don't run, you say walk. Walk. We should turn everything around. And say don't eat this. No, eat this instead. Should be positive. So the Prophet ﷺ here, he didn't say don't eat from all over the plate, which would have perfectly made sense. But he said no. He said, Ya ghulam, that oh my beloved child. So it's about muhabba, it's about love. This is what the deen is encouraging. This is what we need to spread. He said, Ya ghulam, oh my beloved child, Sammillah, say Bismillah when you start eating. Say Bismillah. So he hasn't even got to the root of the problem yet. So he's teaching everything else. Sammillah, say Bismillah. So the child in himself was probably thinking, Sammillah, say Bismillah. I have said Bismillah. So he'd be happy. Yeah, I've done what the Prophet, I'll do that anyway. Then the Prophet says, Kul bi yaminik. They eat with the right hand. So the child will be thinking, eat with my right hand? Yes, I do eat with my right hand. So he'll be happy again, that yes, I do what the Prophet ﷺ is doing, asking me to do. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, third time he said, وَكُلْ مِمَّا يَلِيكَ, and eat from your side. And again he will reflect and think, am I eating from my side? No, I'm not. So I need to do this. So this is the tarbiyah of the Prophet ﷺ. You will not find one hadith where the Prophet ﷺ has ever hit anybody. He hasn't hit anybody. The only form of, if you want to say violence, you can say violence is that he would practice wrestling. But it was practice. He would practice archery. But it was practice. The only incident you might find that the Prophet ﷺ has ever hurt anybody is about that person, that enemy who came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, I am going to kill you, O Prophet. The Prophet ﷺ said, no, I'm the one who's going to kill you. Then on the battlefield when they met, the Prophet ﷺ threw a stone at him. He was in front of the Prophet ﷺ. He said, I'm going to kill you. The Prophet threw a stone at him. I didn't even hit him hard. Just scratched or grazed him. He just scratched and grazed him. So this person, he went back to his tribe saying, oh, the Prophet has killed me. He's killed me. He's killed me. From a graze. So the people of his clan were laughing at him, saying, you're not dead. Look at you. You're running around. You're fine. Everything. Why are you so scared? Muhammad has not killed you. They said no. He said no. He said he is going to kill me, and I am going to die. And he died from that wound. They knew what whatever the Prophet ﷺ had said is going to happen. They knew that. So the Prophet ﷺ never beat anybody. He never was not harsh to anybody. So this is the way of the Prophet ﷺ. تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. Positivity. Always positive. It's about love, encouraging people. And yes, there are times where you need to discipline. There are times where you need to reprimand. There are times where there needs to be sanctions. All these detentions and all these things. Yes, there are reasons. There are times, but it has to be moderate. But the main thing, it's about love. It's about muhabbat. And this is what it's the nature of mankind. Whether you're old, whether you're young, whether you're small, whether you're a child, there are certain things which is fitrah, it's nature. Like muhabbat, like love. It's something that even a child desires. This is something that an adult desires. This is something that a teenager desires. It's something that they want. Now, if this love is not found at home, if they do not find this love at home, they will go searching for it elsewhere. Because it's a natural thing, something natural that a person wants. If they don't find it from the parents, they'll go out searching for that love. And wherever they find that love, that's where they will stop. Now, if the Jamaati people find this person and he finds that love there, then Alhamdulillah, he'll be saved. But if some sheikh finds him and he finds the love there with some sheikh, then Alhamdulillah, he'll be saved. If he finds this love in the masjid, then he stops and gives his heart there, then Alhamdulillah, he'll be saved. But if he finds his love elsewhere, if he finds it in that gang, if he finds it in a girl, if he finds that love elsewhere, then this love isn't just the material love. That, you give them clothes, you give them what you want, you do everything, but you've got a grim face, he's angry face, looking at them, no smiling, no, happiness with them. It's this love, it's an affection of the heart that they sense it in their heart. They sense this love in the heart. They feel that, no, my father, there's so much love here. I want to be in his company. I want to stay with him all the time. Our teachers explain that, parents should be friends with the children. Be friends with them. That they just want to spend the time with their parents. And if that happens, where else would they won't want to go anywhere else. Get into bad company, the chances of bad company. If a child wants to say, "Oh, well, I need to go to the town. Father, please come with me to town." The father says, "No, I can't go with your friend." Say, "No, I want you to come with me. I don't want to go with your friend." That's what we need to have. That's what we need to get. Yeah, so this muhabbat, this love, they need to have that love. We need to give that affection. And they need to feel that affection. And sometimes we think just feeding them, to raise children and to nurture somebody, make somebody grow, it's easy. To feed somebody, clothe somebody is easy. But the main thing is, it's about nurturing them, teaching them akhlaq, teaching them manners, teaching the tarbiyah. What does tarbiyah actually mean? Tarbiyah actually means that a person knows that in each and every command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is benefit. And each and everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has refrained and stopped us from, there's harm. This is what they need to do. And the ta'aleem, they learn what is right and wrong. They learn what is beneficial and what is harmful. They learn that. That's just the ilm, it's the ta'aleem. But in tarbiyah is implementing that ilm into their lives. Not because of the stick, not because of fear, because they want to. Because they know that in the command of Allah, each and everything is beneficial. And in the disobedience of Allah, in each and every disobedience of Allah is harmful. This is tarbiyah. So muhabbat, this is what they need. We need to give the affection, that love, so they sense it and they feel it in the heart. Another thing they need is tawajjuh. They need attention. They need attention. In their happiness, we give them that attention. They're happy, we are happy with them. We reward them, we praise them. They're sad. It's with everybody. Whether it's a wife, why do this divorce happen? Why does affairs happen? Why do all these things happen? Because there's lack of this. When the wife is sad, the husband's not bothered. He's not concerned. When the husband's grieved, the wife is not concerned. He's not bothered. She's with her own thing. He's with her own thing. So they go to look for that tawajjuh, the attention elsewhere. They go to find that concern elsewhere. And when that happens, then you've gone somewhere else. Divorce happens. We need to give that attention, give that time, make them feel special. Make them feel special. And within that, we need to give respect as well. We need to give honor, we need to give respect, because everybody wants respect. Everybody wants love. It's a natural thing. Everybody wants to feel loved. Everybody wants to feel, the center of attention. They want to feel respected. They want to feel as if, no, I've got some say, I've got some respect here in the household. And we need to give that to our children. We need to give that to our nieces, nephews. We need to give that to our little younger brothers, so they feel special in the home. It might be that a little decision, or we're all going out somewhere. Where would you like to go? Maybe you can decide where we're going today. Get mashwara of them. I can imagine how special they will feel. Oh, my father, my big brother is asking me. He's asking my opinion. It's a very big thing. People just overlook it. Oh, he's only a child. It doesn't matter. What does his opinion count? If he doesn't get that respect here, he's going to look for that respect elsewhere. He's going to go find that, respect is having the biggest car. So I need to get the biggest car. Respect in being the biggest drug dealer. So I need to become the biggest drug dealer. It's not that they have this infatuation with drugs. No, it's this honor and respect that they want. They want to know that I'm the toughest. So they'll go around fighting everybody. Why? Because they want that honor and respect. That I am the toughest in the school. I'm the toughest in the college. So then people will respect me. It's not that they enjoy fighting. It's not that they enjoy drugs. It's not that they enjoy, going and losing their respect and honor in the midst of the girls. It's that respect. It's that love. It's that attention that they are after. And if we can provide that at home, then they will not go elsewhere. They will not go elsewhere. And there needs to be this balance. Sometimes we feel that we're so strict on top of them because they're small and because they're young, they'll do exactly. It's all a fear. It's fear. Oh, I'm scared of my father, so I have to come to the masjid. I'm scared of my father, so I need to not use bad language. I'm scared, I'm going to get beaten, I'm going to get hit, I'm going to get thrown out of the house. This fear. As a child, it's fine. As a child, he'll do exactly what you want them to do. They'll do exactly. You want them to come to the masjid, they'll come to the masjid. You want them to offer the salah, they will offer the salah. You want them to read the Quran, they will read the Quran. Because they know the fear is there. The fear is there, they'll do it. But as soon as they have their own say, as soon as they've got their own opinion, and they can do something, then they leave everything. Then they will jump up and down and do what they couldn't do. They'll do what they couldn't, like a spring. A spring, if we compress it, it'll stay down. As long as the hand is on top of it, it'll be fine. It'll stay compressed. It'll do as you would say it to do. It will do it. But as soon as they go out of your hand, as soon as the hand is removed from the spring, what happens to the spring? It'll just bounce up and down. It'll try to reach the highest heights. Try to become the biggest don. He'll try to become the biggest gangster he wants to be. Why is it? Why is it that children are so disobedient? Why is it that they have no sense of honor and they just do as they please? Why? Because they were so compressed. There wasn't no muhabbat. There was no love. There was no affection. There was no respect at home. So as soon as the barrier of fear from home went, then they just let themselves go. So this is a balance. It's a balance that you need to have with everybody, whether it's with your partner, your wife, or your children, or your siblings, your nieces, nephews. This is the way of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His muhabbat, his love, his affection, his respect. And if a child knows, as a young child, that this is what Allah wants me to do, I am doing it because of the love of Allah, because Allah wants me to do it. Not because my dad has got a stick on top of my head. Not because I'm going to get trouble from my mom. Not because I'm going to be kicked out of my house. Because they know, no, this is what Allah wants. And everything that Allah has asked me to do, there's benefit in there. Now it doesn't matter, because they're doing it out from their own will. It doesn't matter how old they become. It doesn't matter if they're at home. It doesn't matter if they're at school. It doesn't matter if they're on the other side of the world. They will know. Because they know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He's always watching me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He knows each and every one of my actions. This is tarbiyah. This is nurturing. And this is what these prophets had. They would encourage and they would advise their family. They would teach them in the most perfect way. And this is why in their words it had such an effect in the hearts of the people. This is what it was. We need to, because once they've grown, parents come to us, phone us saying, "Oh, Master, please say something to him. Master, please do something to him." You know, they're already in the quicksand. And you're asking us to take them out of the quicksand. But still, the ulama, still the Aimma, they try and things change. Still they come to the Jama'ah and they change their lives. This is the mercy of Allah. This is the attraction of the deen. But can you imagine if this was done right from the beginning? Right from the inception, right from the beginning. Hazrat Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullahi alayhi, he was about 12-year-old child. His mum, he was an orphan. He didn't have a father. He was sent by his mum to study. So when she sent him to study, what his mother did was she put some money in his pocket inside, under his armpit. This is what they used to do in those days, hide the money. This was his emergency money, that if you need it, use it. There's enough money there. So on the way to wherever he must have been going, what happened? There was a robbery. You know, the highway robbers. They came, they robbed everybody, and this child was there. They just asked him. No, nobody exactly robbed the child. But they just asked him, "Oh, how much have you got? I'll give you some money." And he said, "Oh yeah, I've got lots of money. Say it." It was that passing comment. The robber was quite shocked, thinking this child, I just asked him like a passing comment, but he's told us that, "Oh yeah, I've got everything here." So they took him to the leader. They were quite amazed. So he asked him, "Why did you tell us? Why did you tell us that you got money? We were even searching you because you're just a child." So he said, "Oh no, my mum, she taught me that to speak the truth is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked us to do. And doing each and everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked us to do, there's benefit and benefit in there. There's no harm." This was the tarbiyah. You know, he could have said, if his mom forced him to say, "Always speak the truth," is different. He could have said, "Oh no, I don't want to lose my money." Because the tarbiyah was there. The tarbiyah was there in the sense that doesn't matter where you are in the world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching you. Doesn't matter where you are in the entire universe, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be watching you. You need to obey and follow the ways of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's nothing but benefit. This was instilled within him. His tarbiyah was such that was there. So when he said that to this leader, his money remained. He didn't take his money. And each and every one of them underneath this leader, they did tawbah to Allah. They left their way. They said, "Look, we need to stop this." This is the effect that it had. This is how it works. It's about making them understand that the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is everything. That everything in the deen of Allah is beneficial for us. This is the tarbiyah. And this is what we need to give to anybody younger than us, anybody that we have any authority of nurturing and teaching. Our wives, our mothers, if we have any say, we need to do it out of hikmah, out of love, with love, and give them that respect, give them that honor, and then see how it makes a difference. Because it's ta'muruna bil ma'roof first. First you give them command to good, you enjoin good first. And then when reprimand comes in, there will be times where you will need to, maybe tell a child off. You may need to, reprimand and tell a child off. Yes, that needs to happen as well. But there's a system, there's a way. First you try praising them for doing the good things. They do something good, we should praise them. You'll find us that teachers, parents, you name whoever, to tell somebody off, they'll be very fast. To punish them, they'll be very fast. You done something wrong, straight away punish. They done something wrong, straight away tell them off. But when they've done something good, how often do we say, "MashaAllah, you're doing very good"? How often do we go out of the way and buy something and say, "MashaAllah, this is a gift for you because you have done something really good"? How often does that happen? Yeah, so there needs to be a balance. When there is reprimand, when there is we telling them off, we telling them that they're not being good, there's a way of doing it. There's a way of doing it. And we need to learn. And one thing I find quite saddening is that when people say or advise people, this is what you should do, and they get offended. And they say that, who are you to tell me how to raise my child? It's not that. It's just we need to learn. We all need to learn. And it comes through practice. It comes through experience and things. It comes through trying different techniques, different ways. Now, if a child is doing something wrong, rather than immediately showing him up in front of everybody, that hurts a child. It humiliates a child. And that can break a child. No, it's very important. There's one, if a child is doing something wrong, we look at them in shock, but we leave it. Because he's trying to hide it. Oh no, my father's seen me, so he'll try to hide it. But if you try to expose him then something called mukashafa, if you try to expose him then that sin comes out in the open. To know that he's doing something wrong, he's hiding it, it's a good sign in the sense that he knows it's wrong. That's a good sign. At least whatever he's doing, he knows it's wrong. But if we expose him, it comes in front of everybody. So what are you doing? Show me what you're doing. In front of everybody. Now his sin or his disobedience has come out. So next time it'll be easier for it to come out in front of him. And so there's different ways. So now you give him a look of shock and leave it. If you see him do it again, then have a quiet word. Take him to a side and say, I've seen you do this. This is not exactly the right thing to do. Then he know, okay, that's one thing. So there's steps. Then he does it again. Then there's different ways of tackling it. I've told you once. So now slowly, you need to show frustration, but not out of anger. There's one you'll find sometimes people they get so angry that they don't even know what they're doing. And the child sees this. The child sees this and it affects him in the sense that, this is what we're supposed to do. If you get really angry, just go nuts, go crazy. And just batter, shout, everything. No. We need to be conscious. We need to be aware. Even if we express anger, inside we need to have control. Because the child needs to understand cause and effect. In the sense that because you have done this, this is why it's happening. This is why you are getting punished. Or this is why the sanction is in place. They need to know why. Sometimes you'll find parents shouting, but the child doesn't even know he's doing anything wrong. How is he going to learn? So that's why he'll do it again, because he doesn't know it's wrong yet. If a student gets shouted at, the student doesn't even know that he hasn't said ta correctly. In his head, in his mind, in her mind, that's the way you say it. If a teacher is shouting at them or telling them off that it's not like this, it's not like that, the child doesn't even know what it is. So we need to show this. Why? The reason why you are in trouble is because you have done this. So next time, don't do this. We shout at our children, we shout at our brothers, but younger ones, but they don't even know what they have done wrong. So how can that be changed? How can that? So my point is that end of the day, we need to realize that the nurturing of our children, the nurturing of our younger siblings, the nurturing of our nieces and nephews, anybody that we have in our control, under our responsibility, it is very, very important. It's very important. And we need to know, we need to learn how to do that. We need to use the prophetic way of doing this. The way the Prophet ﷺ did it. It's immense love. We need to give them love. That's what we need to do. Because teaching here, going out in the path of Allah, spreading the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's a very good thing. Teaching for days on end, hours on end, it's a very good thing. It's a very good thing. But it's not farz for us. It's not our duty. If deen doesn't spread in the four corners of the world, Allah's not going to question us. That why didn't you spread my deen to the four corners of the world? Allah Ta'ala is not going to question us regarding that. What Allah Ta'ala will question us about is that your child, his tarbiyah, that was farz ayn for you. That was your responsibility. You may have been spreading my deen, But your child has become insolent, your child has become disobedient, your child doesn't recognize Allah, your child doesn't understand the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is what we will be questioned about. And you may have guided thousands of people in the world, but because of this one child, Allah Ta'ala will throw you in the depths of Jahannam, because that was fard for you. And if somebody can balance both, they can do the tarbiyah properly of the children, and as well as that, do the work of deen, that's even better. Even better. I'm not saying that we leave everything and just focus on that. What I'm saying is that we need to give it priority. We need to give it priority. Be involved in my child's education. What's happening? What is he learning at school? What is he learning in the maktab? Did he learn his masjid? There's lessons at the maktab. Has he been to the masjid? Has he prayed his salah? We need to be involved. He's going out to play. Where is he going? Where is he going? Who is he spending time with? And we need to be concerned about this, because this is what we're going to be questioned about. And so much more. There's so many aspects of tarbiyah that, inshallah, we intend to go into a bit more. So the children, nurturing the children, there's certain things. The main thing I would like to say is that there needs to be muhabbat, there needs to be love. We need to have that. We need to give a lot of love. Yeah. Number two, but in its correct manner. We need to give tawajjuh, we need to give attention, listen to them. You know, sometimes they speak to us, okay, I'll listen to you later. You know, this child is trying to bond with you. This child is trying to have a conversation with you. No, go away, come back later. That's not the way. That's the attention. We need to give that attention. We need to give honor. We need to give respect. We need to respect them. But according to their level, it's not like nowadays you'll find that the parents, mom and dad are arguing, and they've had an argument, so they get everybody sat down. You know, they'll ask the children, who was right, the mom or dad? They'll ask, they make them the judge. They're not even ready for that yet. You know, and they think, we're a very progressive family. We're progressive. You know, we're very modern. They need, according to the level, it might be, have you done your job, this job? Your job is to make sure you look after your little brother. You know, something according to the age, according to the level. Then they feel that importance. They have that respect. Yeah? So that's slow we need to. So these are a few things I would like to highlight. Is that there needs to be muhabbat. There needs to be that tawajjuh. We need to give them the attention. We need to give them the time. We need to give them the respect according to their level, according to their time. It's very important. And then we'll see how the mahol of the house, how the children have respect. We need to teach them respect of parents. If I am not even respecting my parents, if my child is observing and looking at me, shouting at my mom and dad, how is he going to learn that I need to respect my parents? If he sees me not being respectful to the elders, then how is my child going to learn that we need to be respectful to the elders? If I am not even respecting my wife, then how is my child going to learn that he needs to respect his mom? How is the child going to learn that? Because the psychology and the mentality of children is that they learn through imitation. They learn especially between the years 2 years and 3-year-olds. They learn through imitation. Yeah, during that phase, they learn to imitate and copy. You'll find the 2-3-year-olds, if a person says certain things, he will say the same certain things. If a person does something, they will do the same things, because they learn through imitation. At that age especially, it's a very crucial age. Very crucial age, because that age they learn things. They come into their own identity. They try to build their own selves, and then in that age, if they learn wrong things, they see it to be, that's right, because I've seen them do it, so I'm doing it. Especially that age. It's very important how we conduct ourselves, how we act in front of our children. If my child sees me swearing and blaring at my wife, then what's he going to learn? How is it that these children, 2-3-year-olds, they know all these swear words? Where do they get it from? If it's not from the TV, it's from the people of the home. Yeah, so it's very important. But what shaitan does to us and makes our minds think is that, it's only a child, it's okay. But no, that is very crucial. That's why you find in the hadith of the Prophet all the way till 7, all the way till 10 years old, it's very important this time that we teach them the characters, we teach them the akhlaq, we teach them. I know some families where they're doing the tarbiyah, that even 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds know how to read the Quran. Even the 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds know the dua of going to the bathroom. They didn't have to sit down and teach them or learn the dua, learn the Quran. Why? Because they've observed the mother doing it. They've observed the father doing it. And this is what my mother does all the time before she goes to the bathroom. So that means, then it becomes normal for them. Or this is something that you have to do. Yeah, so the thing is, one of my ustads used to say, to feed and clothe children is very easy. But to nurture them, that is true parenting. That is true parenting. Because you can give them a plate of food, go there, eat. You can give them some clothes, go wear that, that's fine, that's easy. But to teach them the akhlaq, to teach them how to act, how to do things, how not to do things, that is the true parenting. That is true parenting. And can you imagine, if every parent took it upon themselves, that I am going to make sure that my children are nurtured and properly, then in 5 years, 6 years, 7 years time, a community will be fine. If every household took that responsibility, that I'm going to nurture my children accordingly, then it'd be easy. There'd be none of this, mayhem, antisocial behavior, and all these new jargons and new buzzwords that have come out. There'd be no need for these. So this is a solution. This is a solution, not a cure. We need to solve the problem. Because if we're always involved in trying to cure them, or they've done it, let's try to make them better, it's going to take ages and not going to work because they're growing up to be that. So if you cut it at the roots, this is what Islam teaches. You cut things at the root. Alcohol is haram. Even a drop of it is haram. Why? Because Allah has cut it from the roots. So now if you go right to the roots of truly nurturing our children and bringing them up properly, then the problems that we have when they're teenagers won't exist. So this is where it is. We need to go to the roots and bring them up. So I was saying from since they're born until they're about 2 years, they're learning the natural things, how to walk, how to maybe say some few words. These are their challenges. But since from 2 years old, they start making their own identity, who they are. So now it's our responsibility as parents to make sure that they receive all these muhabbat, izzat, and they're in the right company and all that thing. This is where our job comes in, the parents, and the mother, and the father. So it's very, very important. It's very important. We wonder why society is so degraded, why there's no manners, there's no respect, there's just, all these things that are happening. Why is it all happening? Why isn't there no sense of the fear of Allah? Why isn't there the fear of knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching? Why isn't there? Because it hasn't been built in right from the beginning. And shaitan puts in our head, it's only a child. When he grows up, we think about it. When they grow up, they've already become who they want to be. They've already made their role models. They've already decided, I want to be like him, I want to be like her. They've already decided. Whereas it should be that they want to be like the parent. They want to be like the parent. But parents would want them to be better than themselves. Right? We know how we were treated when we were young. We know that. But if we treat our children in the same way, then they will be like us. And that's not something that we want. We want them to be better than us. That's every parent's desire. I want my children to be far better than me. So we need to choose those right avenues. We need to learn, sit down and learn what's the best way. So here, as Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam, he had this quality, it's very predominant in himself, that he would advise his family, he would teach them about the deen of Allah. This was very predominant in his life. There's so many other things that we, inshallah, next week, inshallah, we'll speak about how the household should be, how one should act with their wife, how one should, inshallah, we'll look at that more, inshallah. What should be, ghiza, eating, halal and haram is so vital, so vital. We expect our children to be, so religious, so with deen, but their ghiza, what they're eating, the food is not even halal. His food is not even halal. We're not even sure if it's halal. Now, how is that they can be obedient? How can they follow the commands of Allah when what their fuel is not even in accordance with the deen of Allah? If you got a petrol car and put diesel in it, it's not going to work. If you've got a diesel car and you put petrol in it, it's not going to work. Yeah? So we want them to be, their actions and their amal to be halal. So in the fuel tank, we need to put halal. Yeah? So inshallah, we'll speak more in detail about these things next week, inshallah. سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد ان لا اله الا انت ونستغفرك ونتوب اليك